Alright, bye Mom, I'm going to school. I'll see you later.
Where you going, kid?
Oh, hey.
Where you going?
I'm just off to school, I don't know.
No, you're not.
Oh!
Pause! According to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, nearly 800,000 children are reported missing each year. That's more than 2,000 a day. They also report 203,000 are kidnapped by family members. These numbers are shocking and deeply disturbing. The world today is dangerous, and unfortunately, parents cannot be there at all times for their children in every waking moment as much as they would like to be. We often have to just hope for the best when our kids are out in the world alone. But now you don't have to worry about your child becoming a statistic. Hi, I'm Josh.
I'm Kahari. I'm Josh.
I'm Hannah.
I'm Jose.
I'm Tang.
Safety Swoop is a ride-sharing app for minors. Think Uber for kids. We'll get your kids where they need to be safely and quickly with our network of the most thoroughly vetted drivers in the rideshare industry. Allow my colleague to outline some of our app's safety features.
We developed Safety Swoop with the main goal of providing the safest means of transportation for your child. Here's how it works. First, we have standout security features that set us apart from any other ride-hailing app. When hiring our drivers, we run both federal and national level background checks. These include in-depth FBI screenings within the United States and also various sex offender registry examinations on the national level. After extensive background checks, drivers are interviewed to make sure they're the best fit for our organization. We interview our drivers 3 different times with 3 different executives, ranging from our HR staff to our president of operations. Additionally, all of the interviews are done in a face-to-face setting to have the most effective tactics out of it. Another important factor of our hiring process and interviews is parents. Parents can talk with drivers over the phone before they request a ride. And on top of this, we have a panel of parents who interview our potential candidates to make sure they're the best fit and that they're comfortable with them. Once parents are comfortable with them, they can rate them and review them through the app and essentially keep requesting the same driver. This allows our drivers to build a positive relationship within the community and gives parents a better selection of who they want to transport their children.
Now, all of the security that we have mentioned so far only pertains on the employer side of our company, which is like making sure we have the best of the best on our staff, which may lead you to think, well, what about the actual safety of the ride? I'm glad you brought that up because this is where state-of-the-art supercars come into play. You see, upon getting picked up, riders have to scan their way into the vehicle. This method ensures that riders are getting into the correct vehicle without having to interact with the driver. How hard is it to do this? It's actually quite simple. You see, your child will pick up the phone and have their provided barcode on it, scan the back seat of the vehicle, and the vehicle will let them in to drive with the driver, presuming it is the correct car. And on top of this feature, the supercars are also equipped with cameras on the outside and inside of the vehicle, which allows for you, because these cameras also provide a live feed to the parents, which allows for you to see where the vehicle is going, as well as to see your child inside the vehicle to make sure that they are being safe. And on top of that, these cameras are activated right upon request of a ride, and they last all the way until the ride is complete. But that's not all. There's one more feature. You get step-by-step updates about your child's ride during the entirety of it through your phone. Once the ride is requested, you will, as a parent, will get the exact GPS location of the car your child is in all the way until the ride is ended. Once the ride ends, you will get confirmation of where your child has been dropped off to, as well as to whom they have been dropped off to. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, this is great, but I have a kid who's like a teenager in high school. This doesn't seem to fit my bill. Actually, it does. This app is great for teenagers as well. You see, this app gives teenagers this sense of autonomy that they can feel like they're actually big enough to do things on their own. So what we've done with the app, children or people who are under 12, they don't have access to the app and the parent has complete control over the app. However, once you're 12 and older, you as a person can request rides on your own, but your parents will still get notifications that you have requested this ride. So you can't totally sneak off, but it's a nice little feature. Now, here at Safety Swoop, we have ensured that safety is a top priority. If not the best, it is one of the top priorities we have. Now, you might think this is an over concern for safety that we have on our part, but when you look at the dangers of society, such as numerous kidnapping cases, you have to be sure, especially when you're a ride-sharing app like us, that we provide the best safety possible.
We take precautions like this because of cases like J.C. Dugard. In 1991, at the age of 11 years old, J.C. Dugard was kidnapped just outside of her home in full view of her father. The assailants hit her with a stun gun and then dragged her into their getaway car. Imagine seeing your daughter taken right in front of you and not being able to do anything about it. And to be honest, stories like this, they're not even that uncommon. According to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, over 800,000 children go missing every single year. That means every single hour, 91 children are reported missing. And that's just not okay. As parents, we need to start being more conscious about where our kids are and who they're with. We no longer live in the age of our parents and grandparents, where childcare was hard to come by and parents, they just weren't able to take their kids places. While we aren't the first company to design transportation for kids, similar to like Uber, we are the first ones to prioritize child safety over anything else. Take a company called Hop, Skip, Drive, for example. They do something very, very similar to what we do. They're kind of like an Uber for children ages 6 and up. Just a few months ago, however, in February, a driver for Hop, Skip, Drive was arrested for unlawful contact with a child while he was working for the company, while he was driving around for them. Imagine your kid being in that situation. Hop, Skip, Drive, they took some precautions, They made sure they did background checks and various things like that, but sometimes that's just not enough. There are some people out there who harm children who just haven't been caught yet, who just don't have a background to check. Because Safety Swoop understands that you can never be too safe, especially when it comes to our children, we put cameras inside our car as well. We understand that sometimes there are just things that are outside of our control, but we want to make sure that we have taken every single precaution to make sure that those types of situations don't happen to us and don't happen to you. Because the world, it is a dangerous place, Even if you do everything right and you're in the right place at the right time, sometimes that still just isn't enough. Ask J.C. Dugard's dad. So let's err on the side of caution and know who our kids are with.
Have parents working full-time jobs, both parents. That's a pretty large number of families that are really busy and probably don't have time to constantly be driving their kids around wherever they need to go. So Safety Swoop is a great way to make sure that parents have a little bit of ease in their schedule, but also that their kids aren't missing out on going to the places that they need to. Now, for parents that are looking for other people to find to drive their kids around, it can be hard with babysitters to find ones that are affordable and available. A lot of babysitters will have pretty drastic range from person to person of how much they charge. So it's hard for parents to budget when they're trying to figure out how much they want to spend. With Safety Swoop, the prices will be pretty regulated based on person to person, so that makes it much easier for parents to budget. Now, in addition to finding affordable babysitters, it's also really hard to find available ones. For a lot of families with pretty changing up schedules, like if they have a sports game that's canceled or their kid wants to go to a friend's class after school, it can be hard to find a babysitter willing to just drop everything and drive the kid right away. With Safety Swoop, we actually have an app that will let you plan in advance when you want to drive kids around. So you can schedule to have drivers that will drive your kid a week or 2 out. And this is great for the parents also because it gives them the time to research the driver, even do an interview phone call with them if they want to, and make sure it's a great fit for their family. But there's also drivers available to just drop everything last minute and drive the kid as well, since it's an ongoing thing with drivers constantly offered. Now, young children aren't the only people that need rides sometimes. As mentioned before, a lot of teenagers want to go place to place. But currently, there are less teenagers that are choosing to drive themselves to get their driver's licenses. According to NBC News, 28% of 16-year-olds in the U.S. got their license in 2010 compared to 46% in 1983. So with this rate of teenagers choosing not to drive, there needs to be an option of how they're going to get around. Because at some point, parents aren't going to want to be constantly driving their 16-year-old from the mall to school to sports. So Safety Swoop is a great way to give parents some extra time and put a little ease into their lives, and also give kids a little bit of autonomy and freedom of how they want to get around.
Imagine, nearly 800,000 children are reported missing each year. I hope all of us are starting to pay attention to this prevalent issue in today's society that kids are faced with danger when in public alone. And this is why we came up with the idea, Safety Swoop, a ride-sharing app for minors will get your kids where they want to go and need to go safely and quickly, with the most thoroughly vetted drivers in the rideshare industry and providing the safest means of transportation for children. We have standout security features that set us apart from any other ride-hailing app to make sure kids are on the ride safely. Safety Swoop is so reliable. We have an extremely strict selection of drivers, and we do background checks on them, which include in-depth FBI screenings of drivers in the United States. Moreover, parents get updates of where the kids get dropped off and pick up. Real-time location monitoring that shows the exact miles per hour at traveling. Here at Safety Swoop, we take safety very seriously. We are so serious because some of the terrible things that have happened to our children as a society in the past. Additionally, we stand out from our competitors. We made up for their deficiencies. Thus, we are confident to say we won't be making the mistakes they made. While this app is a great way to ensure the safety of your child, it also saves parents time and puts some ease in their day-to-day schedules. Safety Swoop is an app that improves efficiency and makes the users more convenient, benefits both kids and parents by helping kids get in places where they want to go, and takes the burden of busy parents. According to our research, the global ride-hailing service market size was valued at US $34.45 billion in 2018. E-hailing was the largest segment, with a market share of more than 50% in 2018. The growth is attributed to user friendliness and convenience these services offer. Also, the convenience of hiring a cab by a single tap on mobile is expected to continue the growth in the upcoming years. To be more specific, revenue in the ride-hailing segment amounts to US $216 million in 2020. Revenue is expected to show an annual growth rate of 13.7%, resulting in market volume of 318,000 millions by 2023. So, the market has potential. Safety Swoop is in a niche market. We have less competition.
So Sharks, now that we've outlined our app's safety features, convenience, and the social implications, let's take a look at the scenario we presented from the beginning of the pitch. But this time, let's see what happens when Safety Swoop enters the picture. Bye, Mom, I'm off to school. See you later. Big day, off to school.
Where you going, kid?
I'm just going to school.
Come with me.
No, I have a Safety Swoop.
Wait, you've got the wrong car. Come with me, I'm your swoop.
Okay. Boop. Oh, thank God you were there.
Safety Swoop. Invest in your children.
We are
Safety Swoop.